This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 1254 of Horse Tip Daily, your almost everyday morsel of helpful hints, useful facts, and practical techniques for horse folks. Brought to you today by EquestrianCollections.com. Greetings, horse people. Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily. Today's tip is an excerpt from the monthly Certified Horsemanship Association episode on Horses in the Morning. Show co-hosts Glenn and Christy and myself all jump in about distracted riding instructors and judges, disingenuous students screaming in the barn, and messy arenas. We'll get right to our tip after this from EquestrianCollections.com. When you need to resupply, replace, update, or invest in the stuff that makes your horse life possible, stop by EquestrianCollections.com first. Browse through some 7,000 boot choices from great brands like Ariat, Boggs, Mountain Horse, Ovation, Smoky Mountain, and more. Outfit yourself in the latest and the greatest. And don't forget your horse. EquestrianCollections.com offers some 400 blankets, sheets, and coolers from Buckus, Amigo, and Rambo by Horsewear, Hug, Kensington, Triple Crown Custom, and Weatherbeta, just to name a few. Your horse will be warm and dry and stylish this winter. Not sure what type of saddle pad you want? Well, go to Equestrian Collections because they have over 600 different choices. No matter whether you ride English, Western, or bareback around the backyard, EquestrianCollections.com has the most amazing selection of brand name products you are going to find anywhere. So stop by today, EquestrianCollections.com.
Well, now we're going to be part of the conversation today is about pet peeves that students have in the barn, that instructors have in the barn, or boarders, right? So there's 3 different groups that can have pet peeves in any one barn. And it's funny, when you have more than 2 people, you get a lot of pet peeves. So you have some articles on the Certified Horsemanship Association about different pet peeves. And Jennifer, you put together a list too, right?
Well, horse person, I have to have pet peeves.
All right, good. Well, let's hear yours. Let's start with yours.
Oh, we're going to start with mine.
Yes.
Oh, I feel special. One of my favorites, my biggie pet peeves is riding instructors who are distracted while teaching lessons. They're answering texts on their phone. They're taking phone calls. They're chit-chatting with bystanders. They're gabbing with the parents. You need to be with your student, period.
Boy,
I agree. And I'll tell you something, Jennifer, there's actually lawsuits now based on riding instructors that are not focused on their students and are looking down, texting when the incident occurs and they're getting in trouble.
Yikes. That's scary.
And of course, no CHA instructors, other random people.
It's just rude.
Yeah.
One, it's rude. It's, the student riding his horse looking over and you're not paying any attention, whether it's talk. And the one, before cell phones, it was just talking to people along the fence.
Right.
And Jennifer was always a believer in standing in the middle. When I noticed this all the time when she was doing instruction, she would never stand along the fence. She would always stand in the middle and be totally focused on the students. And, they're paying good money in many cases to have your full attention, not half attention.
Absolutely. And the standing in the middle is also good because, you can speed up your horses by going behind them and slow them down by going in front of them, kind of like you're round penning them. And you can also maybe save the day if you have to, especially for little ones and beginners. Yes, the middle of the ring is great.
The little tiny pony or default come to mama.
Yes,
when
exactly.
things are going wrong, it is going to the riding instructor.
And the other one that bothers me too, and this is just me.
Glenn has pet peeves too.
I do. The other one that bothers me in that is when unless they have a physical impairment, let's take that out of the picture, but they're perfectly healthy and they're sitting either on the fence or in a chair. For some reason, if I'm paying my instructor, I want the instructor standing. That's just a pet peeve of mine. That's all.
Well, and every now and then they have a bullhorn and they're hollering at you with the bullhorn.
Yes.
Are you kidding me? Don't yell at me with the bullhorn.
There's a new system they're starting to advertise, Jennifer, on what's that called? C Coach. They're
Eco.
yeah, they're advertising on the eventing show now, where puts earphones in all of your students, even in a group lesson, and they're talking over a radio frequency.
That would be mellow and calm.
Yes, it is. So the instructor can talk at a normal voice, even from the far end of a big arena, and everybody hears it just right in their ears. There's no yelling going on. So I think it's better for the horses too, to not have that yelling going on, because the yelling makes your students tense. It makes the horses tense. It just makes everybody tense, even if it's not meant to be. You're not being berated. It's just a louder voice. So it is really a great idea. Okay, Jennifer, sorry, I didn't mean to hijack your...
And, this also applies to distracted judges. I actually had experience with this recently at a competition I went to that it didn't happen to me personally, but when I was watching other people riding, I could tell that some of the competitors were very frustrated because the judge was obviously distracted and not really paying close attention to all of the riders in the class.
Yep, hard to score and be subjective when you're doing that.
When you're talking to your girlfriend or boyfriend on the phone, is what you mean? Just saying.
Yeah. So, number 2, students who just
let's see who else we can piss off today. Go ahead.
Yeah, students who just go through the motions. And we've all had these as riding instructors. The student comes to their lessons and things are going well. We're practicing left lead canters and we've got the aid. Things are going great student. But every time you see that student riding, when you're not lording over them, they ride like a freaking monkey. That drives me nuts. I usually fire those students. How about you?
Jennifer, I think you need to come to a certification clinic. It would be great fun to have you for 5 days. When are you going to get certified? That's what I want to know.
Well, yeah.
She retired from teaching a while back.
Yeah, I retired a while back.
Now you know why.
She had lots of pet peeves and it irritated her.
Exactly.
I miss it a tiny bit. I do miss it a tiny bit. But have you had those students, Christy?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and especially in the really large group programs, we were at a at-risk youth barn and they actually weren't wanting to be there themselves. Sometimes the juvenile center would send them or whatever the case may be, and they actually didn't want to be there. And that was also very challenging. Yes, the ones that are passionate and excited, enthusiastic, but yeah, every now and then you get the one that, just going through the motions, whatever.
Number 3?
Glenn, I've got to run off and call our first guest. So number 3 is going to apply to you as well. So take it over, dude.
Oh, equipment in the indoor. People who were in there before you, if you're at a group facility and have left the jumps and chairs and all kinds of stuff in the middle, so it takes you 10 minutes before you do your ride or your next lesson to clean it all out. I think that's just common courtesy. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of that left anymore. Common courtesy. It's going away.
Oh, and I'll tell you, I am a crazy arena person. I want my arena flawless. I love a perfectly drug arena to go show off my, serpentines or my figure eights or whatever. And all of a sudden there's all this stuff, mounting blocks in the way, all that. Oh yeah, I agree with that one.
Well, there you have it. You can find links to today's guests as well as lots more tips at horsetipdaily.com. This podcast was made possible through the generous support of equestriancollections.com and listeners like you. Learn how you can help support Horse Radio Network programming and qualify for auditors-only perks by going to horsetipdaily.com and clicking on the Become an Auditor banner in the center of the page. The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements made by guests on the Horse Tip Daily. Please use your own judgment when listening to the tips on this show.